Hey, it's Otto from e1m1.com. I'm here to take a look at the new Mega Man 9 downloadable content that just got released. First up we have the Proto Man mode, which lets you play as Proto Man, and it's 200 points. Then there's the Endless Attack mode, which is sort of like a survival mode for Mega Man, and that's 300 points. So let's take a look at Proto Man mode first, because it's probably the more interesting of the two. Proto Man mode allows you to play as Proto Man, as I say. So you do things a little bit differently. You play more similarly to the later Mega Man games. So Proto Man does have the slide, and he is able to charge his Buster. And this can make the game play a little bit differently. He can only shoot up to 2 Buster shots at a time, as opposed to Mega Man 3. But you know, he does have the ability to charge it. Proto Man's trademark shield is also present in this mode, and you can use it by jumping and timing correctly. When projectiles, are shot at you, you reflect them back at them, and it also does cause them damage, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it really adds much to it, much to the game, but it's just kind of nice to have, I guess. Proto Man does have some downfalls, though. He does take more damage, and not only that, he does get thrown back a bit. So really, in some areas will be easier. For example, Jewel Man's mini boss is pretty easy when you have the slide, but some jumping puzzles are harder because you get thrown back farther. So you got to be careful, and you can also die faster because you take more damage. So you got to be more careful about how you run through certain areas. I really like Proto Man mode, to be honest. I think Proto Man mode adds genuine, game replay value, because it is, the same game but as a different character. Not as much as it could have if they'd changed things a bit. Like, it's not as different as playing Zero in Mega Man X4 than it is as X, but it's still different enough. And if you've beaten the game a couple of times, then it's a different challenge. Not being able to buy stuff in the store, that makes it kind of hard to go through the later stages, because a lot of people need to rely on E-tanks and lives to just get through. So in that sense, it makes the game more difficult, along with the more recoil and damage you take. But overall, it's a fair new challenge, and it's fun and definitely worth checking out. Now let's take a look at the Endless Attack mode, which as I said, is a survival mode. It's randomly sequenced levels where you just go through each one, and each screen is recorded as you go through them. The object is to obviously go as far as you can without dying. You do get to start with every weapon, though, and you also get Rush Jet upgrade, so that's nice. And it's still pretty difficult despite having all the weapons at the start, and some of the screens are just really brutal. There's just more jumping puzzles and enemies, just stuff flying everywhere, and it just makes the game more hectic. I really do like the challenge it adds, and it's definitely worth picking up if you want to lengthen your replay value of Mega Man 9. I can't really say they could have added more to this, because it is what it is. It's a survival mode. I do, however, have a problem with not being able to use Proto Man. If you thought the regular Mega Man 9 game was too hard, then I wouldn't suggest picking up Endless Attack mode, because I do think it requires a lot of time, patience, and you gotta replay a lot of the same screens before you get them down, and it's just more for the hardcore Mega Man fan. But I would still check out Proto Man mode if you liked Mega Man 9's main game. Even if it's too hard for you, it still might add enough diverse gameplay. Even if it's just a few little things, it's worth picking up, and it's only 200 points, so it's not too expensive. I do think most of the content that they've announced and thus far released could have been included in the main game, and it seems like Capcom's kind of milking the whole DLC environment that we have now, where people can just release whatever they want, and even if it's a rip-off, people will still buy it. And I'm not necessarily saying Proto Man mode and Endless Attack mode are a rip-off, but they seem kind of insignificant to be released by themselves. Maybe not Proto Man mode, but Endless Attack mode definitely could have been included as an unlockable at the end of the game. As I'm sure most Mega Man fans will probably just be buying it just because it's Mega Man content for Mega Man 9, which is really popular right now. People on the fence, as I said, if the difficulty level's too hard, I wouldn't suggest Endless Attack mode, but Proto Man mode's still worth checking out. Thanks for watching, and check out e1m1.com for more videos.